Hello, fellow Murdlers. Today is Sunday, July 14th, 2024, and it's a great day to solve a murder. Today we have the complicated case of the LIBRA in the private suite, and we have 3 6x6 grids with suspects, locations, and weapons. We are in our luxury high-end international rich people prison, and as it says here, we are solving a murder involving all of our suspects from this past week, so the suspects today will look a bit familiar. We do have a red murder clue today. The murder took place next to a net. That's going to be the tennis court, so we can say the where today is the tennis court. And we can use our clues and evidence and our detective's notebook to figure out who was at the tennis courts and what weapon they brought. All right, let's go ahead and re-meet our suspects from this last week. We have Bishop Azure, Major Red, Dr. Crimson, Vice President Mauve, Officer Copper, and Chef Aubergine. The weapons today are a bottle of Cabernet toilet wine, a poisoned birthday cake, a rope of designer clothes, a pair of literal golden handcuffs, a pair of leather gloves, and a lawyer. And the locations today are the private suite, the tennis courts, the spa, the rec room, the movie theater, and the guard tower. All right, let's go ahead and dive into our clues and evidence. Major Red was seen hanging around beneath the cushions of a velvet seat. So that's going to be the movie theater. So we can say Major Red was at the movie theater. This fingerprint was found on a rope of designer clothes. All right, let's see to whom this fingerprint belongs. That's going to be Major Red 2. You can see this kind of like arrow shape here. Very distinctive. Okay, so Major Red, we have all the information for Major Red now. The rope of designer clothes, movie theater. All right. A brown hair was found wrapped around the pair of literal golden handcuffs. All right, so we need to figure out who has brown hair. I know Major Red does, but we already have his weapon. So Bishop Azure could be our person. And yes, it is Bishop Azure, the only other person beside Major Red with brown hair. So Bishop Azure had the pair of literal golden handcuffs. So mark that in. Bishop Azure was seen hanging around by a video game console. Okay, funny kind of how this is shaping out, where we have full information now for the first two suspects based on the first 4 clues. All right, Officer Copper brought a poisoned birthday cake. Okay. A LIBRA was in the private suite, so let's look at our remaining suspects for whom we do not yet have locations. Okay, that's going to be Chef Aubergine in the private suite. Okay, this anagram, something glove was found at a great place for a photograph. That's the guard tower. Oh, cowhide. Okay, so this is the pair of leather gloves. So cowhide glove was found at a great place for a photograph. Okay, so put the pair of leather gloves at the guard tower. And that will also tell us that Chef Aubergine did not have the gloves. The second tallest suspect had a lawyer. Okay, so for this, we do need to look at everyone because we need to understand their height in relationship to the entire pool of suspects and not just the ones for whom we haven't found weapons. So let's look through all of them. We've got 5'4", 6'2", 5'9", 5'8", 5'5", and 5'2". So I think 5'9" is the second tallest. I think that's Dr. Crimson. Let's just double check. Yes. Okay, so Dr. Crimson had a lawyer. Okay. And that does tell us Chef Aubergine's weapon was the bottle of Cabernet toilet wine. So we'll mark that in there. That also tells us that Vice President Mauve must have had the pair of leather gloves at the guard tower, so we can put that in as well. So now we're just looking for these last 2, and that's going to give us the murderer because one of them has to be on the tennis courts, the other has to be at the spa. All right, here it is. Whoever was in the spa was left-handed. So let's see, we're between Officer Copper and Dr. Crimson. Dr. Crimson's left-handed and Officer Copper is right-handed. So the spa is left-handed, so the spa is Dr. Crimson, which means Officer Copper is our murderer today at the tennis courts. So poisoned birthday cake at the tennis courts and the lawyer in the spa. All right, so we have Officer Copper with a poisoned birthday cake at the tennis court. Let's go ahead and see if we were right. All right, we were right. Thanks so much for playing along with me today. I hope this was a helpful walkthrough, and we'll see you tomorrow.